Go away! I keep telling you.
He's down.
Did he just say go away?
Yes.
Good enough to kill our friends.
Oh, I've been here for fucking 5 hours.
Let's just get this straight. There's nothing worse than people throwing the G word around.
You goddamn Griffer!
From day one, I've heard this word being used like all the time. And I've come to realize the whole community has a different definition of what this word means. So today, let's dissect what's griefing and what's not. And then I'll give you my opinions on the matter, so be prepared to be triggered. In the PU, we've come to realize that the most common use of the word griefing comes from someone who actively kills someone with like no reason at all. So for example, killing someone when you have nothing to gain, or they had no cargo, or they had no intention to fight but you kill them anyway. But that definition is completely false.
All right. You hooked me, dude. Who
All right,
is
let's
this
just
guy?
squash this right here because it's a sandbox, and I'm going to explain why. But honestly, Salty Mike put it really, really well in one of the videos that I actually liked from him.
That's the thing. You can't claim that Star Citizen is this wonderful, great sandbox, because I'm sure people defend it on this end all the time. And then when you get sand thrown on you, then it's all of a sudden, is this ethical?
He's right.
Did you have a reason to do that?
Yeah, he's got a point. I mean, honestly. So whether you like it or
The
not,
one video he liked
it's a
from
sandbox,
Saudi.
and someone's bound to throw sand on you. All right, hold up. Let me get this off my chest. Players need to know what they're getting into before downloading this game. If you're looking to solo grind, you're more than welcome to, but don't complain when someone ruins your immersion and kills you for absolutely no reason, because it can happen.
Space is dangerous,
and they don't
man.
need a reason either. You're not immune to PvP just because you stand up.
Again, this is what I really need to get across, and I think I need to get this across to the PvEers more than the PvP'ers, and that is that I know that the security is not in the way that people want it yet because people are still upset that they're dying in the game, period. And eventually the game is going to be designed where there are going to be safe spaces. And we're not really going to see that until Pyro comes out and we can see. A lot of PvP'er base is probably going to gravitate towards Pyro, and a lot of the PvEer base is probably going to stick and stand. So you're just going to see it naturally occur that way once Pyro comes out. That's naturally what's going to happen because one supports a style of gameplay and the other one really doesn't, right? So just naturally you're going to see that. Just in having an additional system that's an outlaw system, naturally. Then what has to happen is more tweaking. Cloud Imperium has to come in and beef up security even more than it is right now because it's still in baby phase and people still can't get it through their head that the game doesn't really give you the safe experience yet, but it will. They will balance it. It's just going to take time. And I think I have to express this to PvEers out there. I support PvE gameplay. I think PvE gameplay is very important. It's not my jam, but just because it's not my jam, do I want PvEers to feel like they're always shit on? But there does have to be some kind of big boy pants moment that PvEers have that realizing, hey, maybe the style of gameplay that isn't there yet because the game really hasn't designed it in to the point where it should be the way that it is that I want to play the game. So pushing that kind of narrative now when that's not really in the game yet is premature. Even at this point in time where people would say, yeah, this game's been in development 10 plus years. I get that argument. Totally get it.
Up on a soapbox in global chat and tell everybody you're a medic. Listen, there's always going to be piracy, assholes, and people like us that just want to salt farm. I mean, that's the best part about this game. You're free to play as you want. And if you didn't have the threat of someone potentially killing you, then the game would just be ass. Right. It'd be terrible.
Right. The chaos is the reason people will come back and gravitate, and the player base will be strong for it, even if the PvP population is usually lower than the PvEer population. And I hear that argument a lot. Oh, PvP is such a small minority of gamers out there. Not necessarily so in an MMO sandbox, like classic MMO sandbox style, right? You see that there's going to be a larger PvP presence in a classic MMO sandbox style game. So it's not as minority as people think. And that chaos brings people back. The unexpected brings people back, even PvEers. Because you can't get that experience anywhere else. And if you don't want that experience, you have to question, is this the game for me? Does this game fit my style of gameplay?
definition of griefing is pretty simple. It's like 4 things. It's pad ramming, it's stream sniping, it's targeting another single player or group in an effort to thwart a singular progression.
And frankly, the stream sniping thing, listen, I'm a streamer, dude. People snipe me when I was playing the game. They'd come to spots and they'd snipe the shit out of me. I never got upset about that. I mean, like, it's part of the game. It's part of being a streamer. Like, grow up. That shit's going to happen, period. You're not going to stop stream sniping ever. So the streamers out there that are whining and crying about that, grow up. It's part of your job. It's what you're doing, man. If you're having fun and a good time at it, shouldn't matter too much, really. Shouldn't matter too much. And you should have your community protect you. If you're so worried about it, bring people into the game, have fun with them, and actually have the people secure your position in the game so you ain't dying right away. You know? If you're that, the more popular you get, the harder it gets. Get more people. Get more people.
And it's utilizing exploits or cheats to gain an unfair advantage.
And frankly, it's bringing action to the stream. I never got it. I never got streamers to bitch about that. I never, to this day, get that argument at all. Grow up. Put the big boy pants on, for God's sake.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
Right. It brings
you wake
action.
up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt.
People are doing the work for you.
You put on a little jacket, you go. You take your lunch because you got big boy pants on. You got your big boy pants and your snack.
People, streamers that bitch about stream sniping really don't know what they're doing. It's bringing action to the stream. It's getting people involved in the game. People are much more, they're going to sit there longer and watch because they know something's going to happen. So I just view people who bitch, streamers who bitch about stream sniping, to be whiny. Just to be whiny. I don't like streamers that bitch about stream sniping.
It's that simple. Anything else is free game. But let's dive in and take a look at each one of those because I'm sure there's some info there that you might not know.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
We all
I like
hate
Cobra.
Even
I haven't
people
watched
like me who just
stream in a while, but I like Cobra.
Hate Padrammers. It just shows that you have no skill, and the only way you can effectively kill someone is through a Padram. Because God forbid they exit the hangar and you have to showcase some skills to actually kill the person. However, CIG clearly states that pad ramming only refers to ramming a ship that's on a pad that can spawn vehicles. So the key word here is a pad that can spawn vehicles. The reason I'm saying that is a lot of people think pad ramming on mining outpost pads are bannable, but they're really not. It's not even against TOS. It's the Platinum Bay pads that are. So that said, mining outpost pads are actually free game, but we all know it's a cuck move and it actually lowers your credit score, so I wouldn't do it. Alright, stream sniping. Honestly, this should be a given. I don't think I really need to cover this one. However, it doesn't mean you can't kill a streamer or a content creator or something like that. I mean, for example, I have Blasphemous on my friends list, and
Avenger 1 made it because he invited the stream sniping. That's how Avenger 1 got so popular. He was like, fine, come at me, bro. Like, I will fight you. And some people don't like his bravado or the fact that he's like a guy. That's his shtick. That's what makes him Avenger 1. But that's how Avenger 1 got popular, man. He invited stream sniping. Quite literally. He's like, come at me, let's fight. You know?
Whenever me and the Pax boys run into him naturally in game, and they're doing JT or something, which be sure we're gonna fight. I mean, we never go after them because they're streaming or anything like that, but hell, if I see you on the server and you're a streamer, be sure as shit, I'm probably gonna try to kill you. Targeting a player or a group. So, speaking of Blasphemous, I heard he had some issues with this a little bit ago, where he would just have people who constantly would try to kill him, and they'd hop servers and stuff like that. I hate that shit. If you're following someone's server to kill them repetitively, that's not cool. And skill or not, it's kind of.
I'm very hyped today, Starlight.
But sitting outside a grim and killing everybody that comes through, that's pretty.
Starlight can't handle me.
That's not excessive killing.
I'm just very passionate today, very energetic.
They have the right to go to another server if they want. I think the last piece that I tack on there is like hitting people up IRL or something like that, and like spamming them with bullshit. That's not cool either. The next one's kind of weird. I haven't seen much of it. I've only seen a few instances
First level stamina, all day long song.
And exploits suck. Now, I'm not talking about like weird exploits that the game allows for, like putting scimitars on ions and infernos and stuff like that, when it only takes 50 meters to, target someone and pretty much one-tap them. I'm talking about exploits like, you know, you're glitching yourself
this,
into a rock
soundtrack
and
he's
shooting
got.
people, but they can't shoot back, or like you're glitching through walls at JT and like sneaking in or something like that. I think that's cheesy, and you honestly suck at the game if you're doing it that way. I see all these PvE lords on Reddit or YouTube and stuff like that.
I mean,
crying,
that's
oh,
physics
you
grade
should do
issues.
something to, you know,
But people are
dial
gonna
back
exploit the hell out of
griefers
it,
or
you
stuff
know?
like that. It's not gonna happen. The game allows for death,
Really, Hugh?
and most of us all have alts that we keep in prison to send merits to our main anyway, so higher prison times aren't even going to work. Some of us, we just don't kill for the Alpha UEC. We kill for the salt. We don't care about the money. We don't care about the rep. Not to mention, seeing you in global chat, having
A way to fix that is just make the fine incredibly ridiculously expensive. You know, like a lot of people say, oh yeah, that's an exploit and that's always going to be there in the game. If you made those fees like ridiculously expensive, man, make it count and make them think about it. I think that's a way to balance the game. Like I really do.
complete meltdown is kind of funny. What blows my mind is the amount of
Up the
salt and
fees.
toxicity the PvE
Up the
community
fees,
has.
for real.
They're the most
In
toxic
secure
community in
areas,
Star
up the
Citizen.
fees.
When in all reality, what
I'm
people
a
don't
pirate.
realize is
Well, freelancer.
the most positive,
Freelancer.
uplifting, and friendliest group of Star Citizen players are the PvP community.
I'm even for
It's
that.
a small group,
Make
and
people
everybody
think
knows
about
each
their
other.
decisions.
I mean, there's only a handful of top-tier PvP orgs in the game, and they have all the best pilots and PvP players. I mean, AVS, Black Fleet, Ramming Department, Pax Mortis, LR, just to name a few. However, the majority of them are pretty small, and they're all in-house. I mean,
Listen, I know that's not popular amongst PvP'ers as well. So, like, I want PvEers to realize that. I'm a PvPer. I'm biased towards PvP, and I want them to up those fees because of what he mentioned about your alt and just basically send in the fees. Like, you know, it's no big deal for people to do shenanigans. You know, I say go ahead and up those fees. Go ahead and up. Make people realize the decisions that they're making and make it have actual consequences. You got to have consequences if you want to see the actions change. And possibly why we haven't seen Cloud Imperium enact or enable like higher fees on this is because there's one system. It's Stanton. You know, perhaps when Pyro comes out, that's what we'll actually see in Stanton. That would be an interesting game design decision.
catch them in AC all the time, but when they're in the PU, some of them run blue and bounty hunt, but then there's the ones that run red
Higher.
too. Like I said, these guys...
Finger says fines for CS1 and 2 are actually quite high. Higher. Like, right? And that's not popular. Like, Fingers is like, ew. Like, Fingers basically, me saying that, Fingers is saying, like, Fingers is like, what are you saying, DG?
Incoming salad vibes.
Fingers is giving me salad vibes. But seriously, like, that's what, it's a balance. There's a balance to it. And in this, I will actually favor PvEs and say, you know what? Maybe that would make it a little bit safer for them, you know? It's not going to change our actions for people who like the PvP, but now we'll have that jail time and we'll be like, really have to have it, you know?
pretty much all know each other, and they fight each other in AC and in the PU all the time. However, the majority of them get the most satisfaction from giving other players tips and advice to help them get better. I mean, they want others to share in the same joy that they find competitively fighting in the game. In conclusion, this is a sandbox. So let's be real, I have my game loop and you have yours. And honestly, if it wasn't for you guys, I would have nothing to do in the PU. And if it wasn't for me,
right,
you'd have a no-skill game to play. But don't call me a griefer just because I kill everybody I see.
I like this dude.
Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm
this guy?
Rivergrit, and if you see me in the
River
verse,
Grit.
then GG's in advance.
All right. I dig this guy's content. That's awesome. I'm going to like that. River Grit, 226 subscribers, and I'm going to send people over to him. I like his viewpoint. I agree with it. And it's different. It's good content. It's dangerous content. It's not popular content. And he's voicing his opinion, and I like that. He's like, you know what, guys, deal with it. And I actually appreciate people like that to put their opinions out there no matter what. That's admirable. That's admirable.